Five on Your Sideline is sponsored by Side and Stricker Nobi Partners.
The temperatures are dropping, it's getting dark earlier, and that can only mean one thing. Fall football is finally here. Welcome into Five on Your Sideline. I'm Ahmad Hicks.
And I am Hannah Yates. We're a long ways off from the playoffs, but you couldn't tell that at our matchup of the week between the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers and Francis Howell.
That's exactly right. First Responders Night, and the Vikings raised $2,600 in 90 seconds. That's how you start. Now to the action. Jalen Pearson takes the sweep going right, and he finds the pylon. The Vikings were cruising. And how about some magic? Booker Simmons, he would throw the swing pass to Kendall Gurley coming up right here, then watch him disappear for a few seconds, and then poof, here he is in open field. He's going in for 6 points, and Howell wins big, 42-13.
Over to Lindbergh High School as the Flyers host the Lafayette Lancers. Lindbergh up by 26, second and goal from the 11 for the Lancers. Zay Jones scrambles and escapes the tackle, looking for an option. He finds it for their only score of the game, but it won't be enough tonight as the Flyers win it 26-6.
All eyes were on this one as well. Chaminade and Lutheran St. Charles. The Mizzou commit, Arlen Harris Jr., showing you why he's headed to Como. He makes two defenders look like they're doing the slip and slide before telling two other defenders, you better come harder. That Heeks goes in for 6. The Cougars up early. The Chaminade coaches look stressed, and I would be too. Down 14-6. The 5'8" Aiden McLean hides behind the big guys, follows them to the promised land, and Lutheran St. Charles extends their lead. They win 46-6.
Now to Parkway South, where the North Vikings are home team against the McClure North Stars. The only word to describe this Vikings team, fire. They put up 2 touchdowns before Zion Royal cuts and runs his way into the end zone to go up 21-0. Vikings go for the 2-point conversion afterwards as quarterback Karan Williams takes this one in himself, and the crowd loves it. But it gets better. McClure goes for a pass, but Daryl Tucker says not tonight. Intercepted, can't be tripped up, and he takes it to the house. Vikings win this one 81-20.
Whoa. Name a sight more beautiful than this. Leduc playing host to Hazelwood West. The Rams knocking on the door with the Wildcats. Houston Randall says, you can call me Deion Sanders or Coach, because he's schooling these guys on this play. 85-yard pick 6. Leduc still leading, though, 28-16. And they find a reason to pump up that crowd right before halftime. A quick screen to Jared Rhodes, and well, he's a man amongst boys, telling the defense, excuse me, but I have a reservation with the end zone. Leduc would go on to win 59-22.
One of the only high school sports with fewer than 50 teams across the St. Louis metro area is field hockey. As it continues to expand, there's one Westminster sophomore who's working to make it more accessible to everyone. Mia Shulin is who her coach describes as the whole package. She ranks 6th in scoring leaders in the St. Louis area in 2020 as a freshman on the varsity team, but her impact is just as great off the field. Shulin started playing field club hockey 3 years ago and says she's often the only African-American girl on the field. So she's using her spare time to volunteer as a coach at Gateway and provide other African-American girls with the same opportunities.
Opens new doors for like college opportunities and also meeting new people and getting to play under like the amazing coaches that I've had the opportunity to play with, like Coach Schmier. I would potentially like to coach a team or make a club or just own my own business or things along that line.
Way to go for her. Several schools were supposed to be in action tonight, but due to some positive COVID cases and subsequent contact tracing, the SLU versus Roosevelt game was called off, and the St. Mary's trip to Ohio to play Elder was also canceled. The Rough Riders had too many kids in quarantine to play, and the Dragons had a coach test positive. Meanwhile, the action continues. Collinsville hosting Triad with time winding down in the first half. Andrew Chi kicks this one through the uprights. Jayhawks take a 3-0 lead. Now, defensive battle in this one. Triad will force this fumble here in the third quarter, and later in the drive, Colin Qualls finally gets into the end zone, but Collinsville would score later in the game, and they win 10-7 over Triad.
Timberland and Liberty matching up tonight, and watch the Wolves run this one in. First, it's Josh Gibbs with the carry to midfield on the nice run, and well, then it's QB A.G. Rains who does it all himself for the touchdown. Timberland rolls over Liberty 61-12.
Well, how about some Thursday night football? Jeremy Macklin making his home head coaching debut as the Pioneers took on Parkway Central. Lewis Kavanaugh marched his guys right down the field. They had a pass drawn up, but he improvised, finding an alley and sliding in for the score. Cue the fight song. Now, we had to wait an entire year for a Drake album, but Kirkwood didn't have to wait long in between scores. This time, Dion Brown following his big guys, and he touches pay dirt. Kirkwood rose big, 67-12.
Another Thursday game, Webster Groves at Parkway South. And how about this for a start? Webster's James Jones takes this opening kickoff and takes it all the way. It's a 75-yard DD to start the game. Good defense in this one, too. Webster with this great diving interception, but it was a different story after we left at halftime. Parkway South game rocketing back. They took it to overtime and ended up winning 20-14.